Back out to the job today. Yesterday we did all the bases on all the chimneys. Now we're going to put all these risers on, put the shrouds on. It's almost done. Like a glove. Final piece going on top. Hey, what's up guys? Copper Tillman. I have got a cool one for you today. This house, built in the early 1900s, and it looks just like a Storybook Cottage. In fact, that's what the name of the house is, Storybook Cottage. And we are going to be doing copper chimney caps. And that's pretty much it on this video. We might get into a bay window as well, bay window roof. But then coming up in the future, we're going to be doing a turret on the job, dragon scale, diamond shingles, copper shingles on it. In addition, we will be doing half round gutters. So I'll probably do 3 different videos of this address. It's going to be worth it because it is a sweet little job. The chimney caps are really cool. They're a 2-step base on them where it steps up, and then we have a riser that's going to have screen inside of it, and then it goes up to the shroud. So they're going to be fun making. They're going to be a lot of hours in it, but it's going to turn out awesome. At least, fingers crossed. I hope it's going to turn out awesome, and I can't wait to show you guys the process. The house is a remodel job, and they've already removed the copper, and the chimney caps weren't originally copper that I know of anyways, so there's not going to be any demo. We're just going to go right into the shop with fabricating. I can't wait to get this one started, show you how we make them. Let's get at it. So back at the shop, we are fabricating chimney caps today. Well, these chimney caps have an internal structure, so we're actually going to have to build some framing out of copper. It's a really cool process. I'll show it to you here in a second. We actually have our little drawing to scale. This is of the profile. We actually did, the homeowner actually did a large one for us as well. The sizes will change because all 3 of those are different sizes of chimney caps, but the dimensions as far as height goes and angles will all be the same. So we're going to start with first with making the internal framing. Got white gloves on to not put any smudges on this copper. I need 10.5-inch pieces up to the backstop. Double check, we're at 10.5 inches. Gonna get a little bit noisy now because of the generator for my 3-phase. Yep. Cut. Yep. These are going to be my little square tubes for my internal framing, and we have to put a Pittsburgh joint on them to join them together after we bend them. So here we go. I screwed that one up. So we're making these into a square tube, 1.5 by 1.5. So using the slide scribe to put a 1.5 mark on it. All right, we have our 1.5 marks on here now. Going to change this flat piece into a tube. Now we're going to put it in a vise over here. I'm going to close this up so it squeezes it together. Put a wood block on it. Perfect. And just like that, we have a tube. Kind of squared up a little bit. There we go. 10 more to go. kitty break. Having fun, Nick?
Yeah. A lot of hammering.
All right, now we're going to start assembling the framing. So those tubes that we made earlier, I'm going to start soldering them together. Put a little flux on there. Double check our squareness, which, yep, we're right on. There's one side. Ooh, that's good. Not every day you see framing done like this, huh? Well, cool. Now we're gonna need to make a piece to lay in here to tie these two together now. All right, now we're gonna start putting the side brace on here to hold this thing into shape. Make sure that we're square. Oh yeah, perfect. A couple of dabs of solder on there to hold it in place. And lay it on that side. What's happening?
Hi, kitten.
Decided to join us for some fun in the neighborhood. Oh my goodness. Hands are losing strength in their old age. Starting to come together. All right, so we got the base of the riser on. Now I just need to secure it by soldering it to our legs that we put in before. So we're gonna put it upside down so we have some positive pressure. gonna lay a piece. All right, next we're going to build the corner trims that go on the corner of the screens. So I need a blank that's 5.5. So I'm going to set this dial to 5.5. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. 5.50, right there, perfect. I'm going to turn it on so it's going to make a little bit of noise. All right, put it into the stop, hit the foot feed, do it one more time, hit the foot feed. All right, next, so I got these two that are now at 5 inches. I just cut them at 5.5. Dang it. Now we need to cut them at 11.5 this way. So reset this thing again. 10, 11.5. All right. These should go right in and hit the stop. I'm going to put it against this side over here to keep it square. Perfect. Let me turn it back on again. And I need 4 more of these. I'm going like this. All right. And there we are. Look at that. Exactly the right size. Next, we're going to mark it out to bend it into an L. We don't want this raw edge. We want to hem it onto itself so we have a nice little rolled edge. So we need to mark a 1/2 inch on it so we can fold those in. Take my handy dandy little slide scribe again. There's 1 inch, there is a 1/2 inch. All right, so I got my V-notchers, and we're just going to go right into that line, and we're just going to remove that much material. That way, when we fold it, and we also have these 45s cut, we're not going to get any copper layers piling up on each other and making nasty bumps on the outside. Everything's going to look perfectly smooth and flat. All right, let's go bend them. All right, now we have these 2 little V-notches, and that's exact center of it, and that automatically gives us a mark of where to bend it. Now I'm not going to quite bend it to 90 because I need it to be open a little bit for the next step, which I'll show you here in a second. But first we're going to do the rest of them. All right, that's the last one. The trim pieces are all bent now. If you notice, remember I said it won't pile up. See how these just fold right onto each other. So by cutting that 45-degree, they just all fold right on each other. Works really well. Next, I want to show you something pretty cool. Sometimes when I want to do something, I know what I want, but I can't find a tool to do it. So sometimes I have to build my own. So here, check this out. So if you remember the full-scale drawing we have of this, we wanted big faux rivets on these straps. This is the corner piece that goes on right there. So we need to put these faux rivets in it, and we decided to go with a 3/4 inch faux rivet, and this is how we put them on. First off, I need to find an exact center point of this face, and then whatever that is, I need to come up that far off of the end of it, so it's very, very symmetrical. So, it should be about 1 inch. We're gonna make a line right here. I'm gonna double check it. And it looks like we're about 1 1/8 inches. So I'm gonna put it to 1 1/8 inches. Make another line. Yep, that's center. So we're gonna do 1 1/8 inches up as well, and then 1 1/8 inches the mark all the way around. So before we put the faux rivet into any of them, I'm gonna mark all of them. Now we're gonna do the faux rivet. Like I said, I just bought myself a bench press, and then I built this table and all of this apparatus, but it's pretty nifty what it does. This little X I made right here, I need to slip it in and line it up so that we have the middle, that line is in the middle of the ball this way and middle of the ball this way. Then I just pull the lever and down it comes. And check it out. What a cool looking faux rivet, huh? So we have to do that on both sides. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure it's lined up. All right, that's that. Got them all built. Now we're gonna put them on and solder them in place. Up next, we are going to make the shrouds for the last two. We have one done. I'll show you how we do that. First thing we got to do is get it cut to the height that we need. So we're going to use a whole sheet. I'm going to take 9.5 inches off. Get that thing on. All right, go for it. Nice. Let's flip it back over. Size down. Now we just have to start cutting out the angles. So previously, I had already figured out this angle. All three of the chimney caps have to have that same slope. So I just saved this piece as a guide. We're just gonna lay it down and start marking it out. We just need to make a mark for that angle. And there is our angle. Every time we cut a piece of copper, you have all these little tailings. It really adds up. Check this out. This is just from the 3 or 4, yeah, we got some mistakes and stuff, but yeah, this is just from the 3 that were, and we're not even done yet. So we got the blanks all cut out for the shrouds. We got all the slide scribe marks where every bend goes, and here we go. Just what? And this is All right, we only have this top to bend around, and I am not going to use this brake because it works so much better on the mag brake, because we can lay a piece between here and here without crushing these. If I put it in here and try to do it, we would end up with a crush on this. And there we go, just like that. Now I got to make 3 more of these for the 4 sides of this cap. So here's how these assemble together. I made a straight hook here and a reverse hook here, and we are going to attempt to slip them in here. Get all those seams lined up. There she goes. Whee! Come here, take this shot over here. Look at this. Look at how nice and tight that seam becomes. Now we're going to do just a spot solder on the inside right over here to keep it from moving. It's pretty critical that this stays square when we solder it, so I'm just going to lay speed square right up here, hold this in place as Joseph runs a little bit of solder on it. Here we go. Hold it like this. I sure say that a lot, don't I? I always say, here we go.
Here we go.
You guys get tired of hearing that? It's like, it's the next step, right? All right, I'm square. Nice. Perfect. Is it going in? Perfect. All right. Got 2 more spot solders, and we have a shroud. Okay, now we just need to make some corner gussets that are going to go like this to keep the thing from flexing at all, and then we will be ready to install it. All right, so here's our little blank for our gusset. See how this goes in. This slips right inside of the little seam. Knock it down. There we go. Check that out. We'll do a bunch of those. We'll do the 4 corners. And we'll solder them in place.
Nice freaking bead, dude.
All right, next we're going to make the cap, the base cap for the big chimney. So I had to special order a 4-foot by 10-foot sheet because we're wider than 3 feet. Standard width is 3 foot. Standard size is 3 foot by 10 foot on the copper sheet that we get. So we had to special order this one in so we wouldn't have a seam on the top of our cap. All right, this is the piece we're going to use, and the size that we need to cut our blank to is 45, right? 37 plus 8.
Yeah, I think it's 45. I think we have to cut 3 inches off of it.
47, you sure that's what it is?
Where's that? It's right here.
37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Yeah. Finger math. All right, so this is a 48-inch wide sheet, and we need 45 for our blanks. We need to take 3 inches off. So we're just, instead of cutting this by hand and marking it, we're just going to use the shear to cut it off. Bring that down to 3 inches. Let's flip it over to cut it. Ready?
Yep.
Cutting. Back over there. Always fun handling a big piece like this. Keep it from any smiley faces is what we call them, little dents in them. Shut that off. Just got to cut our corner notches out so we can bend this thing into a box. All right, these big ones like this are always really fun because we need to try to do it without putting a kink in it. So yeah, it's always a 2 or 3 man job to get it exactly correct. Good. Now we got to flip it in for in. Take it to 90.
Try it. Yeah, there we go.
All right. And take it past 90.
Good.
These 2 end pieces we're gonna have to do in the mag brake. All right, I brought the mag brake out here so we can bend up that last leg because we're going into a box and you just can't do that on our regular brake. So this is fun. Take it that way a tiny bit. We are good. Perfect. Oh, got to shut it off. You'll never lift those things off. All right, now we just got to put these corners together, solder them, and we'll be ready to take it to the job site. right, so we're at the job site today. We're getting ready to get started on the install. I'm going to do a real quick walk around because I want you guys to see what this house looks like before we do anything. They're going to do a bunch of work on the house. They're going to do some stucco work. They're going to do who knows what all else, but I want to do it before so we can have a really good after. So in this video, we're only going to be showing us doing the chimney caps and maybe a bay window. But I wanted to show you the whole house before we did anything on it, because on this turret right here, we are also going to be doing diamond, dragon scale, copper shingles. And I just wanted to do a quick walk around, kind of show you what it looked like beforehand. It's kind of in behind the trees right here, but that large chimney cap we did is going right there. And on the east end of the house, here we have a bay window we're putting a copper roof on as well. All right, well, man, I do say that a lot, don't I? All right, I have my little diagram here, and we got to figure out exactly how big of a hole to cut in here, then we'll solder a riser on. So this is north, that one is north, so 11 1/4 in. Going to put a little screw right in where the X marks the spot. Gives me something to put my tape measure against. Ever wondered why that little slot's right there? This is what it's for. The slot in the end of a tape measure. Just hook it onto the head of a screw or on the head of a nail or something like that if you're trying to draw a circle. So I'm going to set it right exactly at 3 7/8, and I am just going to go around. All right, next we're going to cut that out. All right. Cool. Brought a great big 10-foot long scrap from the shop. Now I got to cut it to the right length just so I can make a riser in here. So we'll actually just set it down inside of the hole to get ourselves an approximate. You know, that's a pretty small one. I'm kind of like pre-spring it around. All right, I'm going to do a little bit long, so I'm going to go about right there. Cut that off. Next thing we do, cut a whole bunch of notches in it to make little fingers that we can bend around on the inside of the hole. Now this is going to rotate this way, so we need every other tab bent out. With every other tab bent out, now we can just drop this right into place. Make sure that the these bent out ones are on the top side, and that one intermeshes with that one. Perfect. Now I just need to get a hammer and tap that into place. Next, I'm going to take a little copper zip screw, and we're going to get this locked in exactly the size we want it, nice and tight there. And we're just going to run that zip through the top. Whoops. The battery died? Battery just died. Well, that'll hold us for right now. Next, I'll take it back out. I'm going to cut these just a little bit shorter because when I solder this on, those tend to kind of be in the way. So I'm just going to make some smaller fingers on this on the top side here. Back over. Oh, now we need a just nice solder joint around it. Let's put some flux around this. Pre-warm up that copper a bit. Nice. Here we go. Gonna double check for any light coming through, for any holes. Looks good. Let's go put it on. Now we're gonna put a layer of ice and water shield down, not because we need the waterproofing, because this copper is, no water's getting through my solder joints. But notice this is a galvanized metal cap here, and it's nice and smooth and it's strong, and we don't want to have to tear it off. So I'm actually going to put a slip sleeve between the two, and this is kind of a fleece backing. It works really good against the copper, and it will keep from any electrolysis happening. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh yeah, snapping right on. This side, oops, snapped on. All right, cool. Now just take hand seamers and bend this on. There's a little lip on the bottom side that I made, so now it's hooking underneath that cleat we put on there, and I'm just crimping it on. So this thing will never come off, and it is watertight. Back out to the job today. Yesterday we did all the bases on all the chimneys. Now we're going to put all these risers on, put the shrouds on. It's almost done. Like a glove. Now just got to center it, and on these 4 tabs right here, we're going to solder it to the lower cap. Final piece going on top. And there she is. How's it look?
I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more. Oh yeah, I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more. Oh no, it ain't easy, darling, when the devil's on my trail. Oh yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for this video. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing dragon scale, diamond, copper shingles on that turret, and I am really looking forward to that one. This will be my first video. We've done several of those, like this picture right here I'm showing you, But this one is the first one that I'm going to be shooting video of to show you exactly how it goes on. I'm excited, can't wait. So like, subscribe, and share, please. And like always, eyes high, copper proper.